Hey guys, I'm back. We got the tractor in yesterday. You can see it here. It's a little 4110 John Deere. Nothing real big. Nice and small to work on the farm. New to me. It's a few years old. It's not brand new, but as you can see, looks pretty good. I've already had it out in the mud, scraping up our old feed hay for the winter that we've been feeding out. Been scraping everything up, piling it up because we compost all that stuff for the garden. But there she is. Nothing real fancy, just a little 22 horsepower, I think. Small four-wheel drive tractor with a loader. We'll get everything we need to get done, garden-wise with that. So I'll show you some videos of it running here in a couple of days. It's still raining and wet. It's been raining on and off for probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. I guess I've had almost 9 inches of rain in the past 2.5 weeks. So, it's wet. But as you can see, let me turn around here. You see all these little trees right in here on this fence line right here? They'll come all the way around. And you got trees all the way down here, all the way down to the corner, and then they come all the way back up this side. All of these trees here are going to come down because in here where I'm standing now, as you can see, and here's where the garden's going. I got a pile of brush there I've still got to burn. I've burned it twice and repiled it. It's got to go. And let's come on around a little bit farther. You can see some calves in here. This is where the garden was last year. 3/4 of an acre probably. And what we do after we get everything we're going to pick out, we'll turn the goats loose in on it and let them finish it off. And then, we throw a couple calves in here this year. But they'll be moving out here in a week or so. And when it dries out, I'll get the ground turned back over and get it ready to go for, for this spring, for the garden. I've got a couple trees standing here and a little root right there I've got to dig up. Because all of this where we're standing in the mid-90s was a garden. The elderly couple that had that, built our house, she had almost 4.5 acres of garden here that she did every year. Or it's got a 6-foot fence all the way around because, we live way out in the country and deer, she just couldn't ever keep them out of the garden. So she put a 6-foot fence, welded wire fence all the way around the garden. And still, it worked some, it kept most of the deer out, but not all of them. Most people know a deer can clear a 6-foot fence. But I've dug, they passed away around 2004, something like that, and the place had set for 7 or 8 years with nobody doing anything, and all these trees grew up around the fence line, and I got these couple trees here growing out where her garden area was, and I've cut them and took a little backhoe and I've dug most of the stumps up, all the stumps where we had our garden last year, which is in there, and pretty much all the other ones. I think I've got 5 more stumps to dig, and then we'll have about 2.5 acres ready for the garden, this year. And all these trees that grew up around the fence line that no one took care of after she passed away. You can see them here. All these trees here, they're in the fence line. You can see them all the way down through here. And I come all the way around. Like I said, it comes back up, and all these trees right here, all these pine, they're on the fence line. So they've got to go because I don't want them casting any shade because, our garden long-wise will run north to south. And the sun will come up where most of these trees are, and I don't want them blocking any of that morning sun out of the garden. So I've got to get them gone. They're on the outside of the fence, so I'm just going to take the tractor, put against them, and cut them on the backside. That way I know they fall away from the fence and won't mess my fence up. But you can see them. They're tall. Good straight line there. All of that stuff there is on the fence line to the garden. So all of that's got to come down in the next week or so. Hopefully it'll quit raining and I can get that done. But you can see what our garden's going to be. I got 3 little bitty pines there I've got to get dug up. But we've got about 2, maybe 2.5 acres here. That's going to be ready to go this spring. Lots of vegetables. We don't really know. I say we don't know what we're growing. We've got 70-something varieties of vegetables. Everything from regular tomatoes to heirloom tomatoes. Same way with squash, some lemon squash, butternut squash, acorn squash, all kinds of peppers, you know, bell peppers, banana peppers, jalapenos. You know, we're just going to broccoli. We're going to grow everything we can imagine this first year and hit all of our local farmers markets and just see what sells the best. And that way, one, in the fall, we'll know what we really need to put in the greenhouse, and two, what we need to go back with next year. Because whatever sells the best is what we'll grow the most of. You know, if we're growing a bunch of stuff that's not selling, of course, you know, we're not going to grow it. You know, you don't want to take up the garden space and the time and the energy, the money to do it. So, other than that, Eli came down to check on us. Hello. He had to come down and see what was going on. I was talking to myself, so he wanted to come see. Okay, but let's see. You can see a couple right over here. I took a couple of these down. The gum, I took them down yesterday. Of those 80-something gum mushroom logs that I cut the other day, a bunch of them were cut right here. You know, I said I had some on the fence line. You can see them right here. A bunch of these limbs and tops. These were some of the ones that were growing on the fence line that needed to come down anyway. So we, you know, those were where some of the mushroom logs came for as far as the gum. And I think I've got right here, I got another gum right there, and I got another one right over there that I'll cut down. And that'll give me another 8 or 10 logs to go with what I've got. Then I'll just have to get out and find everything else. But, you know, exciting. Like I said, I can't really play on the tractor. There, you know, raining and wet, I want to get out and play on it and, you know, really figure it out, you know, because I've never owned anything so small. Most of the tractors I've got are 60 to 120 horse tractors, so I've never messed with anything that small, you know, as far as what will it do, what won't it do. Don't really want to overload it. Just kind of fill it out and play on it a little while, but it's just too wet. Can't really get out and get much done. And but that's it. We're going to start some vegetables tonight. I think we've got a bunch of I think 6 or 7 different kinds of tomatoes we're going to get going. We'll get started in the sunroom tonight. And I'll take some pictures maybe and kind of click on to the end, or maybe a little short video with us getting it done. And other than that, thank you. We'll see you later.